So as you started implementing that program, you were very careful in the article that I read to say, like, you're not discouraging children from going to college, right? You're trying to say, hey, if there's something else you're interested in, let's talk about it. So as you started implementing that program, how did you start the process of saying, hey, I'm not telling you not to go to college, but what else might you be interested in? How does that start?
I think just like you said, like we don't operate from like a question standpoint of like, do you want to go to college or not? I think a lot of schools have operated. There's a time period where that was like, are you going to college or not? That was the question versus, we always try to ask kids, like, what do you want to do? What do you want? What are your dreams and things like that? And then from there, that guides your pathway. So many of in our demographic here in our community, we have a very, very blue collar community, very rural, heavy mining, heavy agriculture. And our industries around here don't necessarily require college. And so I think our kids see that, and a lot of their parents maybe didn't go to college, but yet they have good careers, good paying jobs. And so we just want to be mindful of that. But I think the question always comes down to, like, what do you want to do? Like, what are your goals for your life? And then you build out from there what's going to happen. And college might be the right route for you. Maybe it's just a lot of times it's maybe just you just need a 2-year degree or maybe certification. But you start with the question, like, what do you want to do? And then you let that guide from there.
Can you give me an example of how you have integrated for a child who maybe is interested in a non-traditional path, quote unquote, non-traditional? Can you give me an example of like how you've integrated that into their personalized learning plan?
Yeah, so I'll use. There's a student from the article that you're referring to, but yeah, in that article, like it's not necessarily we're not discouraging. Sometimes the headlines say something else or make it seem one way, but no, we just want what's best for kids. There's one kid from that article though that we just really did not like school, didn't want to be in school, had different dreams and like, but he had an interest, and the kid loved hunting. Like we're an outdoorsy community, we're a rural community, and the kid just loved hunting from a young age. And so our school counselor said, well, there are opportunities as outfitters and as guides, and maybe that's something you'd be interested in. And so his junior year, we reached out to an outfitter company and we asked them, hey, we got a kid here that's interested in learning a little bit about this. Can he go and work with you? And so they let him tag along, and he just spent a couple weeks. We let him leave school, and we told him, as long as you're staying caught up, as long as you're able to work hard and keep on top of things, like, Dad, you can go do this. We'll let you go do this. And so we worked into his schedule to be able to operate that, to go do that. And he spent a couple weeks hunting and taking people out. And he came back took the guy out. They got a nice big muley buck, and the guy tipped him. And he's like, I got a couple $100 tip. And for a high school kid, that's really, really cool. But it's just from that standpoint, as a small school, you know your kids really, really well. And in this kid's situation, like he just loves outdoors, loves wildlife. So we had one teacher that created a class just for him and another student. These kids, they love wildlife. So she created a wildlife conservation course. And those two kids were in that course. But that's just kind of how we operate as a school, is we try to figure out, what do you want to do? And then we kind of build our school around that. And so like this kid, now he's going to be graduating this year. His outlook on school and on life I feel like, has changed, just because I think he has more direction on what he wants to do. I think that's just kind of how we operate at school, is we just try to figure out, what do you want to do? And then how can we make that happen for you?